Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Fuel, where we go over Bitcoin and crypto's landscape, take a look at the trades for the week past and the week ahead. So let's jump right into it. Peter, this last week was a bad week for me trading.
Oh no, why?
I just didn't do it properly enough. I wasn't careful. I wasn't actually really paying attention.
Was your
Uh,
signal right?
you sound very low for some reason. All of a sudden. Let me see here.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me a little better? Hello?
No, you still sound low to me. We'll just leave it like that. The issue is that I don't know how to trade neutral when we're in a neutral territory. So all right, let's just take a look at this. So last week, we were talking about that this is the target level, 87.7 or 87.6 is the level to be to aim for. So I took the trade over here and then took the trade over here. I usually try to get to this level uh, 3 times um, for the week. That's because usually it's the amount I can gain is 4x and above, and so I tried 3 times. It hasn't succeeded here, or over here. I took it, um, but I should have. I don't know this period over here. There's a reason why I shouldn't have done this. Um, After this downtrend over here, so we had these 3 red drops. Yeah, oh sorry, 4 red drops, and that usually after the third or fourth is when the price is going to turn around. This was my indication that hey, the trend is changing, which would then change to green. But if we take a look at global liquidity, especially the offset, let's go back to the daily. Um, we are in this period of basically consolidation for until the beginning of April. And I shouldn't really be taking long bets in when we're in the middle of the window of weakness from February 20th to March 20th. But I can't help myself. Um, Anyone can catch a fish when they're jumping out of the river. When they catch a fish when it's dry, like in Alone when they catch that fish and they haven't eaten for 7 days and they're like, "This is the best fish in the world." That's how it feels to me when I catch a nice bounce like this. So like I caught this bounce up with the Trump tweet, knowing that we were gonna head back down anyway. I didn't care about that, so I was hoping for something like that, something else like that, but it didn't happen. I mean, it could still happen uh, before 8 o'clock tonight. I doubt it, but we'll see.
I'm on it.
So the question, so the trades this week, like the way it should have been traded, is that for the weekly trade, you try it once or twice, it failed, and just let it go. Sometimes doesn't happen. And if we close out this week and this hasn't been touched, the idea is that it still is a long term target, but we don't know the time frame in which it will occur, because the other price, which is down here, the 74. So this price over here, the 74 that we've been aiming for, basically the price is fighting in between these two levels. But it's just fighting between these two levels. Um, and I suspect that what'll happen is that we're coming up to this bounce of liquidity. I'm actually hoping that for this week, the price will jump up over here to 80 to actually hit that 87.7, and then here towards the end of the month, actually by the end of this week, I think we then drop to 74, and then we rocket up. Not here. We rocket up over here. So if we take a look at the next level that's going to show up tonight, it'll be around 81.9. So this will be the level, which means we're very close to it, and it should pull the price downwards. Or before, as what happens in at the end, you know how we generally fall into the weekly close if we're in a bearish trend.
Yeah.
We could fall to below this level. This new level shows up. This 81, 82 level shows up as the next weekly VWAP. We bounce into it and then we head lower.
Wonderful.
So it all depends how we close this week. We don't actually want to take the candle here at 8 o'clock. We want to wait till after that. So like at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you want to see what the price does and then take your trade. If we're below this level, I would take a trade up. Well, the most you can really get up here, if you get up here, is, oh yeah, 3%. That's more than enough. You can get 150% gain on that one. I would wait to see if we get down to the lower end of this range. So the price, if we hit, anywhere below 79 and lower, I would take the long there. If we close by 8 o'clock, the 2 hour candle on the 8 o'clock time, if you close there, then I would take a trade up to 89, 82, and then short. If we're above this level, I would take a bounce from at 82, go up to 87, and then short. But either way, I'd be looking for a short to get into.
Right.
Then once we get down to the 74 level, I would take a long, expecting that, yeah, because this week will get us to, yeah, next week would be the 23rd, and that would be right around over. We can really get a low for a while. Basically, until this liquidity starts turning up. So we go back to the daily chart. Liquidity really turns up around here. I'm just trying to allow for the possibility that I'm wrong in my offset for the liquidity.
Hmm.
There are people who take offset it by, I offset it by 78 days. Some people offset it by 107 days. Other people offset it by 50 days. Like, it's off. So I don't know exactly when we'll get this right up. I just don't see that it happens before the Fed meeting on the 19th. So basically by this Wednesday. And so for me, that's plenty of time for us to get to 74. But we'll see.
Wait, hang on. Okay. So the way this works is that we start with the previous week and then we do the next week. Have you done the previous?
Yeah, the previous week was just my mistakes. It wasn't very clear calls to do here. The weekly trade was up to 87.7. We didn't get there, so that trade failed. And the daily trades would have just been buying at the daily bounces, which also wasn't pretty good. These areas where we switch from bearish to bullish or bullish to bearish can be pretty hard, especially with low liquidity. So over here, the idea is that after this week, on this here, the daily, we should short. The difficulty with that is that I don't know what target to aim for, right? Because the lowest target here is at the 74 level that we're talking about, towards this level, and we didn't get there. So you would have had to just like take your profit. Yeah, you could have made let's call it 5x. You could have made 250% on that trade. So that's still good for the daily. It's just that I couldn't issue any target for this because I don't know to where it could go to. The idea I have nowadays is that if there is no target to go to, close it at the daily close
Hmm.
when that day closes. Close it then, which would have been perfect time to close it. Then here the price went up. I actually shorted here, which ended up failing. Even if the price came down over here, it went back up afterwards. So that was no good. You could get a nice trade over here by buying at the daily VWAP, and then bouncing up. But again, I didn't know that this would be the level that would be resistance. My target would still have been 87.7, which was the level I was aiming for, and it failed. It came back down to this daily VWAP and bounced again, and in this flat areas for liquidity, I should be trading the chop. I just wasn't really paying attention to it. Um, I'm building these things. I'm setting up the companies. I'm working with traders posts. Don't have time to trade this day by day. Uh, but what is interesting is that we are still respecting these levels. Like, these levels are still being touched by the price. But over here, the touch, even though it came down here, it bounced up a tiny bit and then went back down. So it's very hard to trade. It's very hard to trade these consolidation ranges when it's not a full trend. But with the strategy that I'm running, like, over time, you build up, these periods where you lose and then you have these periods where you gain, but the gains are so much bigger, right? At some point here, one of the trades will work out. And let's say I get to 74, I could write 74 all the way up to 250,000.
Right.
So, like, these are the moves you want to get into, and these are the levels you want to enter in. Not because every single one of them are going to succeed, but when it does succeed, you get these home run trades. We're not sitting here trading 50x leverage to make a couple of nickels. We're here for the money. All right, so that's what happened the week before, and for the week ahead, like I said, I'm expecting the level to aim for is 82 or 81.9. Let's call it 82, but it all depends where we close. If we close below 82, aim for a long to 82 and then short. If we close above 82, enter in at 82 on a bounce with a long to 87.7. Make sense?
Yes.
All right. Um, Other thing I wanted to mention is that I did do some updates to indicators. I did one performance update because anyone who already has the multi-time frame VWAP, this multi-time frame script, when you see it on the screen, you'll notice that it used to load painfully slowly, because of anyways, it wasn't optimized properly. And now if we use it, it'll load pretty fast. It takes about 1.4 seconds to load, I believe, and much faster even with it fully loaded. So very happy about that. And then also I've added to VWAP trend an option for to show multi-time frame dashboard. So the first part over here still gives you the trend. That's what you're seeing on the chart. So this is showing, let's say, the daily trend. And then if I want to switch that to the weekly, I can. Always has to be the time frame of the chart you're on and higher. Won't work lower. So we get this. But I constantly wanted to keep checking what the what the state was on other time frames. So now we have this dashboard at the. Let me show you this at the bottom right. You see this dashboard down here?
Yes.
That'll show me the VWAP trend for all the different levels here. So here it's set by default 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, which is the defaults here. But you can change it to whatever you want. But it's got to be the time frame you're on or higher. And this will help give you a context that, hey, long term we're bullish. In the medium term we're bearish. On the short term we're neutral, and on scalping daily we're neutral. So you can use that to what you wish. I think I'm going to be upgrading this to be adding what the expected trend will be for the next period. Just like I was saying today, that I think the price should close at 82. Well, if I know that, I could already plan out what the trend will be tomorrow. Um, so I think I'll be adding that in. That'll be helpful, but we'll see that for next week.
Awesome.
And the last thing I wanted to do here, I just wanted to go over the price prediction for Bitcoin that I'm thinking, right? So, and I was talking about this on the right moves before, but I'm gonna just elaborate here. With if we add the M2 Global Liquidity Index, we don't need both. And we head to the daily. Let's take off the trend. So my expectation is that we are. Let's show waves. That we are well within the run for Bitcoin. Makes perfect sense. But I believe that basically you see these long poles, and so you have this long pole and then this price action. You have this long pole and then this price action, long pole and then this price action. Again here, again, and it shows up again and again. Also on the reverse. Generally speaking, when you break out to the upside, right? Just like over here, we're coming here to gather. We're gathering the orders from this level. Once we blast off, it should be basically the same order of magnitude as the pole, the level up here. So that would bring us to somewhere around 215,000 for Bitcoin by it looks to be the end of May, so June 1st, which is where I would be expecting the price. And if this doesn't keep making new highs, if we end up lower, I suspect we're actually going to turn down on liquidity. We'll see. It's not guaranteed. We'll see. If it is 200,000 or so, we'll be at the top for this cycle. And then I believe we head down towards the bottom here, which is what you've seen before. My cycle bottom is always this orange line, which is, I forget what it's called. What's it called again? That is the lustrum, right? Oh yeah, the lustrum, which is the 5-year average. So we've always touched that level. This is in the collapse after in 2019, COVID crash, bottom after the Celsius FTX, all that sort of thing. Um, Luna, and then I think we're going to get back to this bottom, which will be around 40,000, which coincidentally aligns with the average Bitcoin price, holders Bitcoin price for Bitcoin, which we saw on the Kathy Woods Big Ideas PDF in the right moves. So once that happens, we're going to be switching our whole thing to be trading towards. Well, I mean, we're going to follow the same rules, but our expectation is a trend towards the downside, and I suspect we'll make even more money there because, as you can see, these downsides, I mean, they happen pretty quick. And then when we'll know how to accumulate, we'll buy at the bottom of 40,000, and then we'll write it up for the next trend all the way up to a million. I'm going to say it, Peter, 1,000,000 Bitcoin. That's what it's going to be.
I got a question.
Let's hear it.
You talked about failed trades. Forgive my ignorance because I don't pay attention to other signal groups. Does your signal tell us what the trade is?
No, well, I when I send out a signal, I go, this is around the entry price. This is the trend I'm looking for, so bearish or bullish, and this is where I'd be getting out. But it doesn't. The reason why it's on a planned trade is that there's always a possibility for liquidation in our thing because we're doing 50x leverage. So the idea is that if you get liquidated because the price moves against you, that might still be a good entry point.
Right.
So you get liquidated, I then enter again. The thing is, I'm expecting people to use their own indicators and other things that they're using in order to get a sense of what's going on. So maybe you might look at the Bitcoin liquidation chart. Maybe you might see, hey, Tom, I saw your signal here, but I'm going to wait for the RSI to be overbought or oversold. And then you use that for your own discretion. But I consider the trade successful if after the signal, within the time period, and that's the important part, within the time period, the price did get to where we were targeting.
And do other signal groups talk about?
They usually do one or the other. Either they give you a specific trade. This is the entry price. This is the take profit. This is a stop loss. But they don't have a specific time window for it.
See.
And then other ones will just give you a signal, just a direction, a trend signal, without any recommendation as to what to do with it. But ours, we're doing a hybrid because I want people to trade 50x leverage.
Yeah.
Because I think what happens is that there's certain trades that you wouldn't bother taking otherwise.
Right. Too small.
Because it's a small of a move. But to be able to nail a small move, and then sometimes you've seen before, and some weeks it's been like, oh, there are 300% trades here,
Right.
because we just needed a little bit of a move, this channel in order to move in, which is hard to do on some of the signal groups because they don't want to risk that, and so they give you a buy entry and they say, oh, now hold it, but do it at 2x leverage and hold it for the next 3 months. Okay, great. I don't need your help for buy and hold. I'm already doing that.
Gotcha.
Just buy and hold and buy the dips. Like, what are we worrying about here? Why are we trying to do that? Take out some a loan off of Aave, loaned out your Bitcoin and buy more Bitcoin. Like, if that's what you're going to be doing. So I like my mix here because it gives you direction, target price, time frame, and it's just the entries that can be pretty tricky, or the path dependency. So let's get liquidated, and it has to be like, no, we're liquidated because Trump sent a tweet out. I got a short now.
Do I have to do 50x to follow your trade?
No, not at all. You could do it however you want, but my trades are optimized for 50x leverage, not 75, not 100. I've tried, don't work. It works for 25%, but I rather do half a position at 50x leverage because that feels the same way as the 25x. And I don't mind getting liquidated. If I get liquidated, oftentimes, I don't mention this on stream. In fact, I don't think I've ever mentioned it. Oftentimes, when I get liquidated, I immediately go back in for another trade.
At half.
At half position, exactly. It depends. If it's the weekly trade, I'll often go back in and it's matched on waves and there's other confluence indicators.
Mhm.
I'll just go in for a full position. But my full position is 5%, so no big deal.
All right.
If I blow up my account, I just try again. Like, what do I care? I care. Although I have not blown out an account in a long time now. Makes me think I should try prop firm trading again, but I don't know. I got too many things to do, Peter.
You got no time. I'm
I
gonna
got
be
no
doing
time.
prop firm training, right?
It's true. You're right. I
At
mean,
some
we got to do this
point.
on Sunday because I have no time during the week.
Yeah, I know. Well, thank you for this. This is good. So overall, um, there's money to be made wherever it goes. It doesn't really matter. Like people keep waiting. Is this the bull run? Is this where we're going to the top? Are we gonna rock it? And you're like, you can make money when it goes down, it goes
That's why
up,
I don't care.
consolidation. What
I
difference does
really
it
don't
make?
care. Now that I have the system, is it still trading? Then let's just do that. Let's just do that.
Nice.
But I keep learning new ways of optimizing what we need to be doing in order to get better and better signals, which is why our dashboard is coming out. It looks like let's say within the month, or within 30 days. Very excited, and I think that it could be pretty awesome.
Looking forward to it.
Awesome, Peter. All right, we'll see you guys next week for another Sunday Fuel. The stream's not ending on my side. Can you end it?
It doesn't want to let us go, Tom.